Imagine being imprisoned for your beliefs, yet creating one of the most influential books in history. This is the story of John Bunyan. Born in 1628 in Elstow, Bedfordshire, John Bunyan's early life was marked by humble beginnings and a trade learned from his father. At 16, Bunyan joined the Parliamentary Army during the English Civil War, an experience that would later influence his writings. Returning to Elstow, he took up the trade of tinker and married a pious young woman who introduced him to religious books. Bunyan's spiritual journey began with intense inner conflict and a fear of damnation, leading him to join the Bedford meeting. He became a preacher, but his nonconformist beliefs soon led to his arrest and a 12-year imprisonment. During his imprisonment, Bunyan wrote Grace Abounding to the Chief of Sinners, a spiritual autobiography. It was also in prison that he began his most famous work, The Pilgrim's Progress, an allegory of a Christian's journey to salvation. Released in 1672, Bunyan continued to preach and write, becoming known as Bishop Bunyan. His later years were spent in relative comfort, but his life was not without further trials, including another brief imprisonment. Bunyan's influence extended beyond his lifetime, with The Pilgrim's Progress becoming one of the most published books in the English language. By 1938, 250 years after his death, over 1,300 editions of The Pilgrim's Progress had been printed. Bunyan's works were not just popular in England, but also in France, Holland, New England, and Wales. His allegorical style and vivid imagery drew from his own experiences and surroundings, making his works relatable and enduring. Bunyan's legacy is commemorated with statues, memorials, and festivals, celebrating his contributions to literature and faith. In 1688, on a journey to London, Bunyan fell ill and died, leaving behind a rich legacy of writings and influence. He was buried in Bunhill Fields, a nonconformist burial ground in London, where his tomb remains a site of pilgrimage. Bunyan's life and works have inspired countless authors, including C.S. Lewis, Nathaniel Hawthorne, and Charles Dickens. His influence extends to stage, film, TV, and radio, with adaptations of The Pilgrim's Progress reaching new audiences. Bunyan's unpolished style fell out of favor in the 18th century, but saw a resurgence with the Romantic movement. The Victorian era embraced Bunyan's works, and his reputation was further solidified by the Evangelical Revival. The tercentenary of Bunyan's birth in 1928 was celebrated with praise from the Church of England, his former adversary. Academic interest in Bunyan increased in the 20th century, with new editions of his works being published. Bunyan's writings, especially The Pilgrim's Progress, continue to be studied and appreciated for their spiritual and literary value. His works have been translated into numerous languages, making his message accessible to a global audience. Bunyan's story is a testament to the power of faith, resilience, and the written word in overcoming adversity. His journey from a humble tinker to a celebrated author and preacher is an inspiration to many. Bunyan's life reminds us that even in the darkest times, creativity and faith can shine through. His writings offer a glimpse into the struggles and triumphs of a man deeply committed to his beliefs. John Bunyan's legacy lives on, not just in his books, but in the hearts of those who find solace and inspiration in his words. Join us in celebrating the life and works of John Bunyan, a true pilgrim of faith and literature. Remember, The Pilgrim's Progress is not just a book, it's a journey. Keep exploring, keep believing,